Welcome you all. Myself, Dr. Harshal Shivaji Patil, working as an assistant professor in Moreshwar Arts, Science and Commerce College, Bhokardan. So today we are going to learn very interesting and very much important topic thermodynamics. So the question arises in your mind, so why we are learning thermodynamics in chemistry? So this topic thermodynamics is very much important in every subject like physics, engineering, biology and so on. In chemistry, it has very important part in order to see whether the chemical reaction is feasible or not, which means you can calculate the energy of the reaction, and from that you can predict whether the chemical reaction is feasible or possible or not possible. So we will start with the thermodynamic introduction, then we will see some terminologies used in the thermodynamics like system, surrounding, boundaries, universe. Then we will see the different types of the system. So why the system is divided into the different types. Then we will study about the intensive and extensive properties. What are they and what are their examples? Then next we will study about the thermodynamic state. So we will start it with a simple example. Here I have shown you a matchstick. The matchstick on the head containing the oxidizing agent like a potassium oxide and antimony, whereas the matchbox is coated with the phosphorus, red phosphorus. When the friction between two surfaces happened, then you will get the light and heat. So this conversion of a chemical energy into the light and heat energy, it is a thermodynamic principle. Next is the simple example, another simple example, a cup of tea, in which if you will keep a cup of tea in the environment, then you will notice that after some time it will get cooler down. So this is the exchange of a heat and matter of of the tea with the environment. So the exchange of one form of energy into the another form is all about the thermodynamics. The next example I have taken here, a conversion of chemical energy into a light energy. So here by using a battery or cell, the energy in the form of chemical is converted into the light energy. So next is the important part of our daily life is the fuel. Here if you will consider petrol, it is a chemical. It is containing hydrocarbon or lower hydrocarbons. So from that you will get energy by breaking of a chemical bond, and then this energy is converted by a vehicle into the mechanical energy. So it will be helpful for us to reach from one place to another place. So if you wanted to go with a certain distance, you need to see whether how much amount of fuel you need it. So this is all about the thermodynamics. Next is the conversion of a light energy into the chemical energy. In plants, by using photosynthesis, they were synthesize our food by using CO2 and H2O and light from the sun. So this is the conversion of one form into the another form of energy. Then another example is a lightning. So it is a natural phenomenon of electrostatic discharge, in which some of the nitrogen and oxygen react in the environment and which form the nitrate, and which will come along with the rain and then added into the soil, which were useful for the plant as a fertilizer. So all these examples are of conversion of one form of energy into the another form of energy. So all these examples are involving thermodynamics. So next I have taken a simple example. Here at our household, if you will see that the burning of the methane gas produces CO2 and water molecule. It will get oxidized, methane is get oxidized in presence of oxygen into CO2 and water, and heat is released from it. So this heat we are utilizing for the cooking. So the conversion of a chemical energy by breaking of a methane bond, we will get the heat. So this is also example of a thermodynamics in which the chemical energy is converted into the heat energy. So next we have to see the what is meant by thermodynamics. So thermodynamics is the study of a different form of energies, right? And the quantitative relationship between all the form of energy. The energy changes that occur in physical and chemical processes is all about the thermodynamics. So what is the energy of the body? Is the body capacity to do work. So energy is existing in different form like heat energy, light energy, electrical energy, sound energy, nuclear energy and chemical energy. So these are the various type of energy, and thermodynamics is the study of the relationship between different form of energies. So this energy is utilized to provide heat for mechanical work, to produce electrical work, or to sustain our life. So in case of our energy and human life relationship, so we are eating the food prepared by the plant, as I shown earlier, the conversion of light energy into the chemical energy. So chemical energy which we store in the plant by in the form of carbohydrate, fats and other things. This chemical energy we are taking and we are synthesizing ATP molecules, which is adenosine triphosphate, which is energy molecule or currency, energy currency of the body. So metabolism of the ATP generate heat and we will get the energy. So here in our body, chemical energy is converted into the energy which we have utilized, and heat we have utilized for different work. So this is also thermodynamics. So what is the scope of thermodynamics? So thermodynamics we can utilize to predict the feasibility of the reaction. So here we have seen that the making of the bomb, atomic bomb in First World War, which is called as a Fat Man and Little Boy, so is depend on the principle of or the equation E is equal to mc square. So we can calculate the amount of heat generated by using thermodynamics. Next, we can calculate the energy changes. Here, if you'll see, if you will burn some amount of wood for getting energy or heat, then we can calculate by using this equation how much amount of wood. Wood is nothing but cellulose containing carbohydrate and other things. So this wood, if you will burn in presence of oxygen, it will get oxidized and then it will convert into CO2, water and heat. So we can calculate by using thermodynamics the energy and the matter relationship. Next, we can calculate the extent to which chemical reaction take place. Here I have taken a fire snake example that everyone has their in their Diwali or in their childhood they have utilized this one. Here, if you will take the amount of fire snake, so we can calculate the amount of matter and that of the time required to finish the reaction. So this is also a chemical reaction in which the one form of the chemical is converted into the another form. So from using thermodynamics, we can calculate the extent to which the chemical reaction will happen. So most important factor we have to learn that the thermodynamics is important to predict the feasibility or possibility of the chemical reaction. Then we can calculate amount of energy by using thermodynamics, and we will understand how long the chemical reaction will go. So these are very important factors of thermodynamics. But there are some limitation of thermodynamics. So here are some limitation I am highlighting. So first limitation is, so thermodynamics is applicable to a microscopic system and not to the microscopic system. So macroscopic system means, macro means large, and system is nothing but a part of the universe under study. So we will study about a system in next slides. So it involves extremely large number of particles. Macro means large number, and then microscopic object included a system such as air in your room, a glass of water, a coin, and rubber band. So all these things are containing large number of molecule in it, so they are micro system. So here I have taken an example. If you will boil a water on a stove, so it is containing crores of water molecules. So if you will provide amount of it, like we can consider it as a E. So if you want to boil water, you need 100 kilocalorie of a heat. So you cannot calculate energy required to a single molecule to get from one state, liquid state, into the vapor state. So this is one of the drawback of the thermodynamics. So it will be applicable only to the macroscopic system. So you cannot calculate energy required to convert one molecule of water to the vapor, but you can calculate for the whole jar of water the amount required to convert whole jar of water into the vapor. So this is one of the drawback of the thermodynamics. So next is, you cannot predict the speed of the reaction or time taken to reach the equilibrium. Here I have taken example of ozone. Ozone nothing but the O3. So O3 or ozone layer is formed in the at a certain height of the earth. So it is a here it is show stratospheric ozone layer. So this is formed by using this reaction in which the oxygen reacted with UV light form the radical oxygen. This radical oxygen get combined together with the O2 and then form O3. So this reaction require particular condition which will exist in stratosphere. So here this, if oxygen is there near to the earth surface, but it will not convert into the O3, which is ozone. So this is one of the important drawback of the thermodynamics, which cannot predict the speed of reaction or time taken to reach the equilibrium. Then next is, it is deal with initial and final stage of the reaction or system, but it's not tell about anything about the mechanism of the process. So it will just tell the reaction will go from A to D, and it will not discuss the path by which it will go, like A to B, B to C, C to D. So it will just depend on the initial and final stage of the reaction. So this is one of the drawback of the thermodynamics. Next, we will learn about the terminologies used in the thermodynamic study. So first is the system. So what is meant by system? System is nothing but the part of the universe which is under thermodynamic study. So the object under observation. So we can say it a simple way, the object under observation. So in chemical reactions, the reaction mixture is a system. So here I have taken an example. Suppose you have taken a hot tea, cup of tea, then you have kept for 5 minutes, and then you record the temperature of the tea. So here this tea and the cup of tea, a cup, is a system. So what experiment we are going to perform it? We wanted to see the temperature change after 5 minutes. So this cup of tea is nothing but the system under the study. So next example is the rusting of the nail. So here the iron nail is get rusted after some time. So this is under certain condition. If you'll keep iron nail for 10 days in water or more than that, then it will get rusted due to some chemical reaction with the water and oxygen. It will form the ferrous oxide. So here in this case, if you wanted to perform this experiment on the nail, so nail is act as a system. So system is what? The experimental part or the part of the universe under the experimental study, like cup of tea and the nail. So next is the surrounding. So what is surrounding? The remaining part of the universe other than the system. Everything else not considered to be system, right? So what is surrounding? If I have shown earlier that a cup of tea and we are measuring temperature of cup of hot tea after 5 minutes. So this is our experiment, that is our system. So if we are kept this system with different environment, like if we keep perform this experiment in a cool place like a Shimla, and then we are performing this experiment in a hot place like a Rajasthan and in Kerala, which is a medium temperature region. So here we will perform this experiment. Then observation, we have seen the observation like the tea in the Shimla get much colder compared to the tea in the Kerala and Rajasthan. So in the Rajasthan, the temperature of tea after 5 minutes is might be same or very minimal change is happened. But in case of Shimla, if you see the change in the temperature, it is drastic. So the environment around our experimental setup is all is a surrounding. So here you can define the remaining part of the universe other than the system. So you can say the surrounding is the part around the system. So here I have given the three different surrounding like Shimla, Rajasthan and Kerala. So these are the surroundings under study. So next is a universe. So what is mean by universe? Universe is nothing but the system plus surrounding. Here if you consider the system what we have used under study or experiment under study plus the surrounding like Shimla. So this and this is all about the universe. So the surrounding means the environment around the system and whole environment near like other than the environment near to the system is surrounding, that will be universe. So might be this concept is clear. Then what is mean by boundary? So boundary is nothing but the surface which separates system from surrounding or anything that separates system and surrounding. What it means, like if you see a cup of tea and we are going to perform this experiment to see the change in temperature of the tea. So here boundary is what? This cup. So this cup made from the ceramic or glass. So this the material which will separate tea from the environment or surrounding is known as the boundary. So it is what? Ceramic or glass cup. This boundary means this is the area which separate our experimental setup with the surrounding is known as a boundary. Then what are different types of the system? We will see there are major three types of the system. First is the open system, then closed system, then isolated system. So what is the open system? Open system in which there is exchange of a matter as well as the energy with the surrounding is known as the open system. So for example is hot water if you will take in an open beaker or a glass, or the other example is a hot tea in a cup. This is the example of a open system. Then what is the closed system? Closed system is nothing but a system which can exchange only energy, not a matter, with the surrounding is known as the closed system. So here hot water in perfectly closed beaker is one of the example, or if you will take a tea in a cup with a lid is also this example of a closed system. And then isolated system. So what is isolated system? Isolated system is the system which cannot exchange either the matter or the energy with the surrounding. Like if you will take hot water in the thermoflask is the example of the isolated system. So in order to understand more easily or simply, I have shown here the example of cup of tea similar to other. If you compare the open system, that of the other closed and isolated system, so a cup of tea without a lid, so it can here you can see the water vapor. So here there is an exchange of a matter. Matter means here in case of cup of tea, the water vapor is exchanged with the surrounding in the form of a water vapor. So water is going from the system to the environment or surrounding. So it is an exchange of the matter. So and then there is a dispersion of a heat also with the matter. So here it is a open system. In open system, what is exchanging? The system is exchanging energy as well as the matter. Matter mean a part of a system. Here, the second example is a hot cup of tea, but which is covered with a lid. Covered with a lid. What will happen? The matter or water vapor will not go outside. So the matter exchange is not possible. So matter exchange is not possible. And but it will dissipate heat through its wall or through the glass. So energy is exchanging. So this is closed system. And then isolated system. What is isolated system? If you take a tea in a thermoflask, so everyone know that if you keep a tea in thermos, then take it will be hot for a longer time. So in this case, there is a no exchange of heat, no energy is transferred to the environment from the system, and there is a no matter exchange. So this is called as a isolated energy. So here I have shown these are the example, and similarly here the laboratory conditions. So we can see experiment in the test tube, and then test tube closed with the rubber cork, and then covered with the thermoflask. Then we will learn next what is meant by intensive and what is meant by extensive properties. So intensive properties is nothing but a property whose value does not depend upon the quantity of matter present in the system. So it is non-additive property. it is non-additive property. So example of the intensive property are temperature, pressure, density, surface tension, viscosity, melting point and boiling point, molar heat capacity and specific heat capacity. So here I have taken a simple example. If we consider a water in a glass, beaker and seawater. So if you wanted to uh, do experiment, that you have to see or calculate the boiling point of water in a glass, a beaker and see. Then a boiling point means a point where the liquid is converted into the gaseous matter. So here the water is converted into the water vapors. So if you will calculate the boiling point for all these three, the water in different quantities, like the water in glass is a like some liter, half liter, 0.5 liter suppose, and then water in the beaker is around 5 liters, and see, you cannot measure the amount of water, so it is a large amount of water. So if you calculate the boiling point of all these three is similar with some error, addition of some salt and all, but it will be 100 degrees Celsius only. So the property like a boiling point is an intensive property which does not depend upon the quantity of matter. Quantity of matter means here we have taken the water, here we have taken 0.5 liter of water, here 5 liter of water, and here thousands or millions of gallon of water. But the boiling point is not changing. So this is the intensive property. Similarly, pressure, density, surface tension and viscosity and other properties will not change with the matter, the quantity of matter. The next is a extensive property. What is meant by extensive property? The property whose value depend upon the quantity of matter present in the system. So it is additive property. Here I have taken an example. If you want to calculate a mass of a water, 1 liter water, then 20 liter water, and then 100 liter of water. So the mass of all these different size of water is different. So as quantity, the property is depending on the mass of the system. It is extensive property. Similarly, the volume is also changing as it is the extensive properties depend on the quantity of a matter. So you cannot fill 20 liter of a water in a 1 liter of a bottle. So the it's as the mass increases, the volume is also increases. So the property, extensive properties depend on the quantity. So volume is also extensive property. Then weight of all this water is different, right? So then energy required, area, enthalpy, internal energy, Gibbs free energy and entropy. So these are the extensive properties. So next we will study about the thermodynamic state. So what is mean by thermodynamic state? It is also known as thermodynamic state or state of a system. So what it means? A known set of variable properties such as pressure, volume, temperature and number of moles which describe the system completely. Here it can be characterized by known set of its state variables, or more variables are changes, then state of system can change. Here I have taken example of water and that of a vapor. If we will consider state water as a state A and vapor as state B, then if you will see these variables like temperature, pressure and moles, number of water molecule, if you will go from water state A to state B, from water to vapors, the temperature is changing. Like here it will be 37 degree. If you wanted to vaporize water, then the temperature you have to rise it, it is up to 100 degrees Celsius. And the pressure will be lower in the vapor conditions, and then volume will be expand. As everyone knows that as we will provide heat to water, it will get expand and then volume will increases. Then the number of molecules. So if you consider the water, it has 100 molecule. I'm just giving a simple example. So might be it will contain thousands of water molecules, but I'm giving an example to understand you. So number of molecule will be there in 100 water. If you boil it, then some of the molecule will evaporate in the form of a vapor. So it will be reduced to 70 molecule of water. I'm giving just simple to understand you simple example. So the number of molecule is decreasing from state A to state B. So what is the state of a system? Is a set of a variable properties. Variable properties means pressure, volume, temperature, and number of moles. So we have learned all about the introduction of thermodynamics. Then we have learned the terminology used in thermodynamics, then intensive and extensive properties, and then thermodynamic states. So in next lecture, we will study about the first law of thermodynamics, its limitations, and then heat and work concept, and then the reversible and irreversible processes, and we will solve some numericals uh, related to thermodynamics. So with this, thank you all.